But you don't believe that statues can move. And you're right, Mr. Garner. They can't. Of course they can't. When you're looking.
Welcome to About Time, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Stephen, and I've been a Doctor Who fan since 2005.
And I'm Ben, and I've never seen the show before.
Now we're watching and discussing every episode of the revived series. And quite frankly, it's about time. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Podcast listeners wish Ben a happy birthday for week of recording. By the time you hear it, it won't be his birthday, obviously, but...
Yeah, I'm now a year older.
Yes. You're allowed to say how old?
21. No, I'm 34 years old.
And what did you say to me on your birthday? You said, for a month and 2 days, you're now a toy boy.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I said to you, you do realise that I'm always a month and 2 days younger than you. It doesn't change just because you've had your birthday, but...
But I'm 34 and you're 33.
I see, yes. Anyway, any news? What are we doing for your birthday?
We're going to go see Waitress.
One of your favourite musicals?
Yeah, I'd say it in the top three.
Yeah, with your favourite performer in it?
Carrie Hope Fletcher.
Yes, fingers crossed she's not ill or I'll never hear the end of it.
No, it's fine. I know that's a part of life.
Yes, it is part of it.
Oh my word.
Yes. Oh no, I know what you're going to say.
Listen to Paddington the Musical recording cast album. It's so good. Tom Fletcher has done such a good job of the lyrics and the music.
I see.
It's so good.
Good. Well, you'll never know. If you're lucky, you might get to see it one day.
Stephen's crap at keeping secrets.
I've already booked it for his Christmas present and I couldn't wait to tell him. I can't keep secrets.
No, you can't.
But at least you've got something to look forward to.
Ages away.
Yeah. Any other news? Any exciting bits going on?
I got a new water bottle!
Oh my God. I did say anything exciting going on.
Yes, but it is exciting because it's bright orange.
Yeah.
It is a Yeti bottle.
Yes.
And it was a present.
From?
Stephen's parents. They hadn't bought me a Christmas present. They said they would do both birthday and Christmas present. And I said I wanted a water bottle. And they said, okay. But they didn't say it like that. They probably said, oh, why did you want a £40 water bottle?
You know Jonathan Vernon Smith?
Yeah.
Who does the luxury podcast with William Hanson?
Yeah.
Well,
and I secretly find him attractive.
Apparently you think he's hot.
I do think he's a very attractive man.
He gets irrationally angry about water bottles because he sees all these young people, all they do all day is they can't go 5 seconds without drinking from their massive water bottles. It makes me angry.
Okay, my water bottle is a litre. Sorry, Jonathan Vernon Smith. But what I will say is that I can go 5 minutes without drinking from it because I'm not drinking from it now.
True. When I worked in a school and I was, out around people all the time and that makes me quite anxious, I would drink a lot of water in the day because I think I would do it as a bit of a stim or like something to do, like to relieve anxiety.
Pause the conversation.
Yeah, and even when I was working with kids, I remember there's this funny little girl I was working with in a Year 1 class at the time, and I was drinking my water and she just said to me, "Why do you have to take a drink of water every 5 seconds?" Ben's laughing because he knows this girl that I've mentioned because I've told stories before. She got big lips. I hate being commented on my appearance anyway. She just looks up at me and she just went, "You got big lips." So yeah, thankfully I don't work in a school anymore.
Do you not miss it?
I miss some aspects of it, but the relief of not having to be around people all the time is a lot.
Oh, I would find it boring being at home all day.
Well, I'm still quite new to it, so we'll see if I find it boring after a while, but I'm loving it so far. Anyway.
I've lost my watch.
Oh my God.
I've lost my Apple Watch. It's in the house somewhere. I just can't find it.
Because it's dead.
Yes.
And you've tried to do
find my device.
technical things to find it, and you can't find it. And I hear about it every single day. Ben tearing the house apart trying to find his watch. But the good thing is you didn't even pay for it.
No, it's one of Stephen's friends' cast-offs, and I said, I'll have it.
I'm yet to get on the smartwatch bandwagon.
I really miss it. Yesterday, though, it caused a bit of a kerfuffle. Because I normally...
Yes, it did. I was so panicky. Carry on, tell the story.
I normally can see... I was talking to a colleague, and if I'm like... I left my phone on my desk.
So let's just set the scene and explain the context. I basically pick Ben up from work every day because he doesn't drive. And I'm a kind boyfriend. So I'm the chauffeur of the relationship.
He is very kind and he does it. And then for my birthday, actually drove me in as well.
Yeah. But also because in the past, I've just driven at the time that I assume you want to be picked up. And then I've ended up waiting for like an hour because you're in a meeting or something that you haven't told me about. I've now started texting you before I leave saying, are you ready for me to come and get you?
Yeah. And yesterday, I was talking to my colleague. If I'm talking to my colleague and I'm down the corridor, I can normally see my text on my watch, even if my phone is on my desk. I'm being very coy here.
Yeah. This is the world's worst kept secret. You do know that.
No, it is a good, yeah. And I normally can see all Stephen's texts, and I normally text him from my watch.
Yes, but now you can't.
But I can't because I've lost my watch.
You were talking to your colleague for over an hour. And I was like, "Where? This is unlike Ben not to reply." And I was calling him and
then you got my mum to call me.
Yeah. We were so panicked. And then I thought, well, I'm just going to drive down to your place of work and see if you're there. And then I was driving and I was like, oh my God. I had visions of you on the road being hit by a car. I was like, oh my God, please be okay. And then actually I went to, on my car, you can press the button to call and you're at the top of the list. And I pressed to call you. I just thought, I'll just try him again. I pressed the button. But actually, you literally were ringing me out at that exact moment. So the moment I pressed it was actually me answering. And I was like, hello. And you were like, hello. And I was like, oh my God, you're okay.
That morning, though, I got run over by a car.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't push the button and I was naughty because I didn't see any cars coming one way and I thought I could just go. But then a car was coming down around the corner and I was like, oh my God, and I got run over. I'm so.
Well, please be careful.
Yeah.
I do worry about you.
I do try to be careful.
There's a Tesco delivery driver next door and he's quite cute.
Stephen!
I saw him through the window.
I tell you what, I could extend the pant king.
No, we're not crossing that bridge again.
Because any time we're driving and there's a man or a builder who's bent over, your eyes are like magnets to the waistband. Oh, he said, he's wearing Hamilton lines.
It was bad. Oh my God, I can't believe I kept that in last week.
It's like, he's wearing Giorgio Armani. He's wearing Primark. He's wearing Poundland.
Oh my God, my laugh. When I'm editing podcasts now, all I'd hear is my laugh. And I'm like, but someone commented on one of our TikToks that had me laughing in it, as most of them do.
Yeah, because you wheeze.
Yeah. And they said, I would love to join a call one time just to hear that laugh.
You don't. It's so annoying. It's like.
Don't say I'm annoying.
It's. I swear, there's a character in the penguin in Toy Story.
Oh, he's called Wheezy.
Yeah,
yeah.
That is Stephen.
Oh, fuck's sake! I think I feel a song coming on. I've lost my squeaker. Anywho, so enough about pants. Enough about wheezing. Enough about Tesco Twinks next door. We've made it to this point. We've made it to Series 7, Episode 5. The long-awaited farewell of the ponds. The Angels Take Manhattan. You said you have a lot to say. What did you think?
Well, I used to have a lot to say. Well, I'll tell you when
Yeah.
It's mainly a bit about the end bit.
Yeah. But overall, how did it compare?
This episode's all right.
It's okay.
It's okay. I think I thought it was a very smart way of saying goodbye to the ponds.
In what way?
That they're not dead. They're not there. It's like it's not just a natural goodbye. It was almost taken out of their hands.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very different sort of goodbye.
Yeah, and I quite like that. I quite liked it.
He's killed them off, but not killed them off at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, they still get to live out their lives and be happy together.
Yeah.
But
They're dead to Brian.
they are dead to Brian. That's tragic. What's the doctor going to say?
I think.
Sorry, Brian. But the thing is, they were all getting ready to say, no, we're going to stop now. And Brian was the one that said, no, I don't think you should. I think you should carry on.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah. Anyhow, the beginning bit was not needed, was it?
what with the detective?
Yeah.
I quite like the beginning. It's like moody detective story vibes.
Noir.
Yeah, noir, yeah. What's a pirate's favourite film genre? Noir!
At least you amuse yourself.
Someone's got to laugh. Someone's got to wheeze.
Yeah. And then the old man. Oh, weird old man.
What, the crime boss?
Yeah.
Grail, was it?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
What's his first name? Holy?
Holy Grail.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. So I was a bit like, I get it, but I just think it was not needed. And then as soon as I saw the pan of New York, I don't know if I was the only one, but I instantly knew that Statue of Liberty was going to move.
Yeah.
I knew. But technically, could not.
Because?
There's people on it and up it. There's people looking at it at every time.
Yeah.
There's people on it.
Well, they must shut it at night.
Security guards.
Uh,
I'm right.
Yeah, you are right. And I
I'm
would
totally right.
I will agree with you. It is a massive stretch, and it's silly, really. And
It really is silly. It felt like it took the Angels too far.
Yes, I know. But I think Stephen Moffat has a habit sometimes of being like,
oh, look at this idea I've got.
exactly, exactly, being like, oh, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Just never mind that it doesn't quite make sense. It's a cool image.
Extend your belief.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say also because it's made of copper, not stone.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, copper's a metal.
Yeah. I know basic difference of the material, but I mean, like, why can't an angel be metal?
Well, this is the thing. There's so much about the angels we still don't know.
So I think this is my version of the angels and how I believe it is.
Yes.
I actually think that they there's like two different types of angels.
Yeah, go on.
Or so there's a type of angel. They're all like soul based,
Yeah.
spirity based.
Yeah.
And like you've got some who will just go into the ground and then carve or go into a rock and step forward as an angel.
Yeah.
Like almost carve its own.
So you're saying they inhabit the stone?
Yeah, and then they carve themselves out of it
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
And then there's ones that embed themselves into statues. Almost like hermit crabs.
So when they were first introduced in Blink, they all looked like that same design of the classic angel.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the episode, there was suddenly this montage of like, oh, any statue could be a weeping angel, and it has showed these different statues, and I'm like, yeah, it makes you question like, are they like different subspecies of the same thing, or is it that they can just inhabit different? Yeah, it's hard. It's quite vague, but
another thing.
Yeah,
why was the city not in like absolute terror every? This fucking statue is moving every night to kill someone.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, why is there not like helicopters and like the unit coming in?
Yeah, I know. It's like fucking Godzilla or something.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, it was too.
It was too far. I agree with you, and I think a lot of people would agree with you.
Angels can have babies.
This is the thing. Are those cherubs? Are they just babies? Do they grow up into proper angels, or are they a separate thing? Or yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing. It's like the dilemma of vampire babies.
Oh yeah.
So like in Twilight, there was a rule that you couldn't change a baby into a vampire because they can't control their hunger, and so
they can't control their feet.
Feeding.
Okay, right.
They can't control their.
Yeah,
they go and they destroy like loads of little towns.
Wow. I don't know.
Apart from Renesmee, who can be born a vampire and born human and be survivable.
That sounds brilliant. Yeah, listeners, I was just going to remind you as well, if you are interested in Weeping Angel lore, friend of the pod, Yanto, and I did a big deep dive into Weeping Angels for a bonus episode. It might have been Halloween.
How did you deep dive?
Well, we talked about all the appearances that they've had and
They've only got this many appearances.
all the big questions like what counts as observing them? Like, does a little tiny fly observing them count? And how do they reproduce and all this
sentient
kind of stuff?
beings.
Well, a fly is sentient.
Yes, cognitive beings.
You mean sapient, intelligent beings?
Yeah,
So would a dog count if a dog was looking at it?
humans.
So only humans.
Yeah,
So a monkey looking at it wouldn't count.
no. A monkey doesn't have the same time feast as a human does.
No, but I'm just saying, so a monkey could see a weeping angel moving.
Yeah.
See, that's just your opinion though, isn't
Well,
it?
cats can see ghosts and spirits.
Okay,
Do you not believe in ghosts
you
and
rest
spirits?
your case. Not really.
Oh, you're such an atheist.
Well, I think they're a cool idea and they're a great aspect of stories. But in real life, I don't think so. Do you believe in ghosts?
Not really.
Well,
But I believe in spirits.
souls.
Spirits. Energy
Okay.
of a person.
Meaning,
Like, if we left this house when we move out, it will still have a part of our energy, our spirit,
yeah, but
until a new family comes in and then it washes
that's
it
a lovely
away.
idea, and it's very fanciful and all that. But it's just a poetic idea. It's not real. Sorry to be the
Put your hose away and stop
crusher of
pissing on my
dreams.
fire.
It's no, but you've got a very
Pissing on my fire.
you've got a very poetic mind,
Pissing on my fire.
and you have all these wonderful ideas, but they are just ideas. So yeah, we've agreed the Statue of Liberty was unnecessary.
Yeah, 100%.
But I like the setting of the apartment building that they turn into a farm.
Yeah.
Because there's something about the corridors, seeing the angels kind of coming down the corridors and you've got no escape. That's quite scary.
And it's
quite like that.
but that motif is goes all the way back to The Shining and the two little girls.
What?
The two little girls in The Shining.
Using a corridor, you mean? To be
Yeah, and
scary. Yeah.
you've got nowhere to go.
Yeah. Or even the Minotaur.
That's a labyrinth.
Yeah, but corridors.
That's a labyrinth.
Of corridors.
The labyrinth.
Of corridors.
It's a labyrinth.
Yes. What's the difference between a labyrinth and a maze?
A labyrinth is made out of stone.
No.
A maze has multiple exits, and a labyrinth has one.
I will Google, but I from memory, I think a maze has multiple paths and twists and turns so you could take different forks. A labyrinth only has one route. It's just twisty-turny. Let me Google. In my history, I've got a difference between pillow and cushion from when we had that debate.
Oh my god. You make me sound dumb on your videos, don't you?
I don't, Ben, I just used the audio of what we've recorded.
What are you saying? I'm dumb!
Well, you're the one who just called yourself dumb.
Go get me a drink.
I didn't make you sound dumb.
I need lubrication in my throat.
You're so demanding. Go and get me a drink.
I need lubrication in my throat.
I was correct. A labyrinth is a single-path, non-branching route featuring no dead ends. Conversely, a maze is a branching puzzle with multiple paths, dead ends, and choices designed to confuse and test navigational skills.
So in HP4, is it a labyrinth or a maze?
It's a maze, and it's called a maze. But when I read that description, I think, well, surely the labyrinth in the Greek myth should have been a maze, because it was supposed to be confusing, and he had to use string to use his route out, didn't he?
Do you remember Princess and the Goblin?
Not really.
Please, someone know what Princess and the Goblin is.
It's a story.
Yes, but it's a film.
Oh. Do you need me to get your camera?
I remember one Christmas, my parents brought a job lot of videos.
Yeah.
And there was a few videos in there that were really great. There was The Mask with Jim Carrey, and there was Princess and the Goblin.
Yeah.
And, oh my word, it was like, Irene, Princess Irene.
Who made it?
I don't know.
Is it an animation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she has a ball of silver string.
Right.
And she goes through the woods. Oh no, it's a boy who goes through the woods to go save her
Right.
with the ball of silver string.
Yes.
Why is this not a musical?
I don't know.
Follow the silver string, follow the silver string. Laying out the silver string, laying out the silver string, so I can get myself home.
So, Dr. Amy and Rory are in modern-day New York.
Dr. Amy?
The Doctor, Amy and Rory.
Wow, she did a PhD really quickly.
No. They're in modern-day New York, having a little picnic, having a chill.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It's nice to just see them just chilling.
Yeah. But he's reading a weird book.
He's reading a trashy, like, dime store novel.
Melody
Malone. Written by...
Melody Pond.
Yeah, River Song, yeah.
Why does she not just call herself Melody Pond?
Because Melody Malone sounds more, like...
Yeah, I know that. But
investigatory.
I mean, like, in her real life.
Oh, in her real life.
Why is she not Professor Pond?
Because it's one of those self-fulfilling prophecies, I think, because she's become known as River Song. She just sticks with it.
Oh.
But she's only River Song in this incarnation. Because remember previously, when she was Mel's and that, she was always Melody.
Yeah.
And then when she became River, it's like in that episode, she learnt who River Song is, and it's this person that she's destined to become, who the Doctor's in love with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Doctor's reading out loud all this, lipstick and tight seam stockings and all that, you know.
She put that in for him.
Yeah.
The Doctor's version of sexting.
Yeah.
Wowzers. And then to make it just, he goes back to China and yeah, he's like, oof. Wowzers.
Yowza,
and then she messages back, wowzers back. I was like...
I know. What are you doing? Oh, you know, texting a boy.
How does she know that her dad was going to be there?
That's a very good question. And I was going to say that because when Rory appeared back in time, she saw him and she just went, hello, Dad. And I'm like, we've spent the whole of River Song's story so far being like, she has to be super careful. She has to establish at what point people are in timeline so as not to do spoilers. She just gave a massive spoiler if Rory didn't know yet. Do you not think?
She must know. She must know.
But how?
She just must know.
She didn't even know about the book at that point.
But she's married.
Yeah, but she could have been meeting a Rory from before that. Remember when he came to see her in prison, he was dressed in a Roman uniform, and she couldn't tell him at that point.
Oh, yeah. I think Stephen Moffat was like, who cares?
Exactly, the audience knows, so we don't have to hide it anymore, but that just doesn't make sense.
But he's like, who cares? Because they're going now.
True, yes. Also, you know when he's reading out the book and Rory says to him, only you could fancy someone in a book. I take issue with that. I've often fancied book characters.
Have you?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know, but the way people are described and the way they talk and the way they act, and it's sort of like an idea you build up in your head and you can find characters attractive.
Yeah, Mr. Bingley, I would probably agree with that.
Okay. From Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Amy and Rory are getting older as well. She's got glasses now.
I don't know why that came about.
And apparently she has liney eyes. Wrinkly eyes.
Oh. I thought it was like in her eyes, liney eyes in her eyes.
Like wrinkles is what he's saying. That's why it was all awkward. And Rory was like, I'm going to go.
Oh, poor Amy. Who's older, Amy or Rory?
Well, I think they're the same age. They're in the same year at school, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, did you notice the Doctor's now taken those glasses because they help him? Remember, he put them on and he was like, oh, that's much better.
Yeah, but it's also like a piece of her.
A memory of Amy, yeah.
It's very sad.
It's very sad.
Well, not that sad, but...
It is sad. I find this a weird episode, and I find bits of it don't make sense, which I'm sure we'll get to. But emotionally, I think it's a very powerful episode. Nice ending for them. So we've got this whole thing of this book that is describing the events that are happening, and Amy starts reading ahead, and the Doctor's like, you can't do that, because then it will become fixed.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, how did he get the book?
He just bought it in a shop. It's just a book.
But Amy published it.
Yeah, it was published in the, 19 whatever.
So do you think that's how they supported themselves?
She was publishing industry, yeah. She was a publisher, yeah.
I wonder what Rory did.
Don't know. But I can tell you, now that you've seen their departure, that they did adopt a child.
Named who?
Let me Google. I can't remember. I think it's a boy, an orphan boy.
What, called?
Anthony.
Anthony Malone.
Anthony Brian Williams in 1946. So there was a sort of web short thing where Anthony delivers a final letter to his grandfather Brian. It's like a deleted scene that they sort of published online.
Oh, wow.
It was never, I don't think it was ever really filmed, but it's been published. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, Anthony, they adopted Anthony.
Is that Rory's grandfather as well? Great grandfather, so it's like a weird loopy thing.
No, because that would be weird, wouldn't it?
Like
you
his
can't
dad and his
yeah,
great grandfather
that wouldn't work,
and
would
his
it?
son.
Genetically, how would that work? It would
I
just
don't know.
So yeah, are you satisfied now that you know that Riversong has a sibling?
No, because you never get to see him.
Do you think she could visit them? Because she managed to get there with the Vortex Manipulator.
Yeah, maybe. But my thing, this is what I would say. I would say to Amy, somehow go to this place at this day and this year, and I will come and get you.
Exactly.
Outside of...
Many people have said that. This is one of those storylines that a lot of people have trouble with. And then there's a lot of other people who say, well, actually, and then they explain how it works. So,
I think it'd have been much more powerful if he just killed them.
Yeah, I think he doesn't like to kill people off, funnily enough.
Yeah. Doesn't like ending.
Well, exactly. Did you know as soon as that he was saying that, I don't like endings, I'll rip out the last page, at that point it becomes obvious, doesn't it, that this is their final episode?
Oh, no.
Did you not think?
No.
Oh, when did you twig it was their ending?
At the end?
Really?
Yeah.
Even when you saw the gravestone, quite near the beginning, you see the gravestone that says Rory's name.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, near the beginning, that gravestone shouldn't have existed because his death hadn't happened yet.
But time.
No, his death hadn't happened yet.
But time.
But his death hadn't happened yet. For him to die, he needs to be transported back from the angels to get to the deathbed. He hadn't even entered the building yet.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why he has a tombstone there because he hasn't even been touched by an angel. He hasn't even been flung through time. He hasn't been into the something key, winter key.
But yeah, because someone could argue that, well, time got changed and therefore that's why. But then you can't have I'm agreeing with you because I'm saying you can't have both types of time changing in one story.
Yeah.
You can't have, oh, this changed, therefore it was always that way, and this is going to change it, and so everything's different in the same story.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where time travel gets messy.
Yeah, and I think what I find really hard is with this is like the show could be excellent. It could be really amazing.
In your opinion.
And like really grab people by the short and curlies and be like, this is Doctor Who now.
Yeah.
But I think we put showrunners in who do not understand how to write fantasy shows.
Okay.
Do not understand how to write a successful arc. And we put these powerful people who have been... It just comes across a lot of the time that you're not edited. Or if Moffat's episodes aren't edited
that
by
is
someone.
absolutely the thing when you've got someone, people just become yes men.
Yeah.
And they don't question it.
Yeah, and I just personally think like Doctor Who just needs a big bad. I mean, like more Buffy-like, something that's going to take you through
the whole season.
A common enemy.
Yeah. By the way, I really loved your idea. I think it was last episode. You came up with this idea that the Doctor loses the TARDIS in a bet and then has to spend the season trying to get it back. I thought that was a really good idea.
It would ground the story.
A really cool idea. Yeah. So anyway, we were trying to talk about this whole reading ahead makes things fixed, and then how they can use the chapter titles for like little spoiler-free hints, except they weren't spoiler-free.
No.
Yeah.
It says Amelia's farewell.
Yeah.
But my personal opinion is like, it's a story.
Yes.
I guess, I don't know.
Well, no, but my thing is, if you're gonna be pedantic about it, all Amy read was the Doctor saying he would need to break River's wrist. She didn't read it saying that he did. All she read was him saying, I need to, which he did say. For all we know, later in the book it could have said, oh, and River actually managed to wriggle out. But we didn't read that bit.
Yeah.
But I get that it's, you've only got 45 minutes and they're just trying to make it simple.
the way she was holding her arm,
You could tell.
you could just tell that she had.
Yeah, that's acting.
Yeah.
Do you remember that in the Goes Wrong show when they did their acting workshop? And he was like, hello, that was acting. Hello, that was not acting. We've also got this angel in chains in that man's office, which looks pretty cool, I have to say.
Really?
Yeah, damaged face. It's chained up. It's pretty cool.
But the thing is, though...
I think that was River's mistake, getting too close to it. Just because it's in chains, I would, yeah. Also, Weeping Angels are supposed to be very strong, aren't they? I'm sure it could have got out. Although they said it was weak, didn't they?
Yeah, because you can always tell a weak angel is because it crumbles.
It's deformed. Eroded. Yeah, it's lost its shape a bit. Yeah.
It's eroded.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Checking if I've got a swollen wrist.
Oh. All right, River.
She hasn't got a swollen wrist because he's used regeneration energy, which came from fucking nowhere.
Yeah, that annoys me as well. Oh, so suddenly he can just produce it whenever. When we've seen him use it before, it's been either because he's just regenerated, or like in Let's Kill Hitler, he was dying because he was poisoned. Oh no, wasn't it River? No, sorry, River used it on him. She used hers. But yeah, no, I don't understand how he can all of a sudden just randomly pour regeneration energy. Yeah, it becomes a bit of a easy commodity.
If he can do it then, he can do it anytime.
Yeah. I mean, she did tell him off. She said it was a stupid waste. But what effect is it going to have?
Maybe he won't have any powers to regenerate. Maybe they can regenerate at will. Like, when they're dying, it's an involuntary... It has to be voluntary.
Yeah. But what I'm thinking is, if each regeneration uses a certain amount of energy, and he's just poured some out to give to River, he's got less for the next one than he should have.
Yeah.
So what is that? What effect is that going to have?
Maybe he can use small pockets of it.
Yeah.
And he recharges over time.
Yeah.
Like a Tamagotchi. You know Matt Smith? I think he could play a villain very well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he has played villains.
I wonder how much he's worth.
A popular fan idea is to bring him back as the Master.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I think bring Tennant back as the Master.
That wouldn't go down well.
But he's a very good actor.
He is, and he's brilliant, and he's lovely.
He would do a fantastic job.
But he has, anyway, let's not go there. By the way, River's been pardoned of her crime.
Yeah, because he doesn't exist anymore.
Apparently. That's handy, isn't it?
He wiped himself away from the universe.
Mm.
He was like, I don't need to exist anymore.
He's getting too big for his boots. It's so funny that he was showrunning Doctor Who and Sherlock at the same time, and he literally did exactly the same storyline in both shows. Series 2 of Sherlock, there's this whole thing about he's supposed to be a detective, and he's getting so famous that people know him. So he ends up dying at the end of Series 2. Faking his death, basically.
Oh my word, Stephen the other day told a story for at least 10 minutes.
It was not 10 minutes.
7.
It was not, Ben,
It was really long. Stephen, it lasted up until we got this fucking door.
From the car, which is like one...
Not from the car, you were driving at the time.
Oh, okay. Well, you just have a low attention span for my stories. I need to explain all the details, otherwise you won't understand the significance.
We'll understand.
No.
But I do not need to know that it was 3:30 in the afternoon.
I didn't say that. You're just making that up. I didn't say that.
I did not need to know that her heels were clicking clacking.
No, you can't even remember what the story was now, and neither can I.
No,
so
neither
stop trying to invent details that I said that I obviously didn't. Anyway. So yeah, Rory got zapped back. He was old in a bed.
Was that really Arthur Darvill?
Yeah, with makeup on, you could tell.
An old hand.
Yeah, old hands.
With a ring on. One thing I will say, he is fucking loyal.
Yeah, he is. He's such a golden retriever.
He's an incredibly loyal, obedient.
Yeah, but he is absolutely devoted to her. Yeah. And the thing is, she, over the 2.5 series that she's been in the show, her loyalty to him has been in question. But then there comes a point where she's proven, like Amy's Choice, actually. Like in the beginning of Series 5, it was a bit like, oh, does she actually prefer the Doctor or Rory? But Amy's Choice showed us that she will always choose Rory. He's her priority.
Yeah.
And then in series 6 as well, with like the, oh, you stupid face and all that, it turns out she was talking about Rory.
That must be really hard to go from modern day, if you zap back to olden times, and knowing that actually I'm not going to be able to be saved by the Doctor now.
No.
I've got to live my life.
Especially go back to the 1930s and knowing that World War II's around the corner.
But the thing is, though, there must have come around, and there must have come a time when, so they died in 80.
They died at the age of 80-something.
Yeah.
And they're already, what, mid-30s?
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, there could have been a time when she could have seen herself.
Not quite, I don't think. I think they probably would have died in the 80s, and she would have been born in around 1990 or something, 1989. Just a quick bit of maths in my head.
Oh. But the very end bit?
Yeah.
When Rory's just like, they're all about to go to the pub.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he's like, I was like, oh my God, just walk!
Yes. That bit bothers me because I feel like the way it was written was that he would just happen to glance and catch it as he was walking. But for some reason, the way they block the scene, he literally has to turn around and walk several steps to just randomly go and look at this gravestone that he has no reason to look at.
Yeah.
That really bugs me that he couldn't just, Because why does he suddenly go and look at it?
Do you, if he was talking, send me back, do you think it would send me back to him?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it took pity and said, I'll feed off you? But it was...
Yeah.
Or do you think some angels only can send you back to a certain time?
Well,
wired in
again,
them.
it's whatever the story needs, because I remember in Blink, Billy Shipton got sent back to 1969, and the Doctor said to him, "You've been touched by an angel. Same one, probably, since you ended up in the same year as us." So that suggests that if you get touched by the same angel, they send you back to the same time. But then in this episode, they said, oh, nobody knows. We don't know if you're going to send you back to the same time. So, yeah, but luckily it did.
They would have had to get married again.
Why?
No paperwork.
Because there was no paperwork. Yeah. Unless they just live a
Had no money.
quiet life.
Had no money.
Yeah. They're essentially homeless.
They're essentially alien.
Yeah.
Because with their accent, they would have been sent back. So they lived the rest of their lives in New York.
Yeah.
But like, I would have thought that America would have sent you back to England without any paperwork.
They must have worked something out. But yeah, if that happened to you, wouldn't you be like, okay, what big historical events are coming up that I can bet money on?
Yeah.
Like,
and also be like, what books became world famous? To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay, we need to...
Yeah, let's go and become Harper Lee's publisher, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think when they were up on the rooftop and Rory was going to...
this good bit.
When he was going to sacrifice himself?
I was like, that's sad, but it makes sense.
You can see the logic.
It's a bit like a burning fire building. If you're on a burning fire, do you let the fire take you, or do you take your death into your own hand?
Yeah, and his logic was, if I do this, then it kills the angels.
Yeah.
So one person to save everyone.
Yeah.
But still, Amy, she couldn't let him do that.
She can't live without him.
No.
I think it showed her commitment to him.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think the last scene showed how much actually she needs him.
Yeah.
As much as we see him needing her, she needs him, because she's high flying, but he's her stability, her rock, the one who keeps her grounded. Without him, I think should be a bit like a loose cannon.
Yeah. Out of you and me, who's Amy and who's Rory?
Why do you ask questions that you already know the answer to?
Go on.
No.
Go on, I want to know what you think.
I'm the Doctor. There we go.
I'm just curious what you thought, because you said you didn't twig that it was their final episode until the end. So when they were falling off the building, did you just think that was wrapping up this episode and then they were going to carry on?
Well, the amount of time that Rory had come back.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm a bit like, I think that's the whole reason why they did it, is because it puts you into a false sense of
Security,
that he is going to come back, no matter what he does.
Yeah.
He fell through the light, he came back.
Oh, yeah.
He was turned into a robot, he came back. Apparently he's not a robot anymore, but don't know how that works. It's like, I'm a real man.
Yeah. But yeah, they did this basically fake happy ending that, oh, everything's all right. You know,
Yeah.
they've woken up, lovely, cheery music. They're going to go to the pub, and then they rip that away from you.
I didn't actually get that emotional.
I did, actually. Like I said, it's a lot of questions that I have about this, but emotionally, I think it works. And the fact that she chooses to go and be with Rory and sacrifice her friendship with the Doctor. And the Doctor can't cope with that. He can't understand it. I think he understands it, but it's devastating to him.
The Doctor's not used to coming second.
No, he's not.
He's used to people being besotted with him and doing everything he wants.
Yeah.
But she is besotted with him.
And it's specifically Amy. Like, he likes Rory. Rory's great, but Amy's the one.
Yeah, he didn't say Rory's name once.
No, when they fell off the building, all he did was, Amy! Amy! Never mind that Rory's falling.
Yeah. Poor Rory.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the Doctor's love.
So then there's quite a funny bit where the Doctor says to River, he says, why don't you come with me? And she's like, whenever and wherever you want. But not all the time.
Because they can't afford me.
Because they can't afford me. One psychopath per TARDIS, don't you think?
I found that funny.
Yeah.
Because he is a psychopath.
Yeah.
And so is she.
Yeah, so apparently she could write this book and send it to Amy to get it published and ask her to write an afterword for the Doctor.
Yeah.
So was she able to meet her, or did she send it in the post or something?
My personal opinion is what she probably did. She went to the same year, but just outside of the city.
Outside of New York, yes.
And
posted it in.
Could have gone to the same year, outside of the city, and, should we take the underground to go in and go get Amy?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Now, I Googled this because there's so many questions, and then there are answers apparently to them all. But so, because some people would say, why can't Amy and Rory leave New York and go to, Chicago, and the Doctor go and meet them there?
Yeah.
But the reason is, I think, because it's fixed. He's seen their graves, that they died in New York at that age. But then you could say, why can't he pick them up and go and travel around with them, and then when they're 80-something, drop them back in New York?
I'm sorry, but his death was a fixed point. Don't use this fixed point business to me, because every time they say, oh, it's a fixed point, there's a way around it. Oh, I'm going to hide inside a robot that looks like me, and that means I was technically there, but I'm still alive. I'm like, no, don't give me this fixed point. It's just a cop-out for the writers to say, oh, it's a fixed point, so they don't have to work out the law.
And at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. Let's use that as an excuse.
It's a convenient...
Yeah, they needed to be written out. But yeah, there's just many things that come together, I think, to mean that that's the end for them.
It's nice in the terms of, it's the closure that you need for these characters.
Yeah. That's what I feel. I feel if you try and examine it logically, there's lots of holes, but as an emotional ending, it works. As a thematic ending, it works.
I just personally think that Amy's okay. I enjoyed her, but I just felt like she's not hit the same level as
Rose, Martha, Donna.
No, Donna.
Oh, well, yeah.
That goodbye was heartbreaking.
Yeah, that was the worst. I mean, I say worst in the sense of best goodbye ever. Most devastating.
Yeah.
That moment goes down in history.
I've noticed the show likes to lock companions away.
Yeah.
They want to put them behind glass walls so Rose went to a different dimension.
Yep. Donna had her memory wiped.
Yeah, Martha, I don't know what happened to Martha.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing what I was saying about with Martha recently is that, there's no reason why she can't meet the Doctor again, because she didn't get trapped anywhere or die or anything like that.
Yeah. And because maybe that's because they...
And that's why they choose to do that, because they know that the show's going to move on. So they don't want that hanging over it,
So I think we're going to have half a series.
With no companion?
Well, they told him, both mother and daughter told him not to travel alone. And I think that he will.
Okay.
Because he is a moody, and I think he's going to be reckless, and I think he's going to get himself killed.
You think?
And he's going to regenerate.
Because of because of his response to this.
And it's almost like he doesn't want to replace her. No,
of course he wouldn't, yeah. He has to grieve her.
Yeah. Go get Jackie Tyler.
What kind of companion would you have him meet after this?
Someone a bit less ballsy.
Less ballsy.
Yeah, someone a bit...
This is Stephen Moffat writing.
Oh, we're going to get a sexy-ass librarian. And she says, you've got a sonic screwdriver, I've got a scanner.
Shh. Yeah, that's the title of the next episode. Shh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's... Okay, so I'm guessing they are going to be brash. They're going to be sex on legs.
I wouldn't say brash, but I think the rest of it's
Do
quite...
I know the actress?
I won't say at this moment. I think you'll have to wait and see.
I could just Google it.
I'd really rather you didn't. So the next episode is the Christmas special, and it's called The Snowmen.
Walking in the air.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one because it is quite a good one.
Walking in the air at night, and I'm in the air. This song is really boring.
And just to prime listeners as well, we are planning to cover The Snowmen next week, and then probably take a little gap again for Ben to...
No, and also you, because you're going to York.
Yes, and I will be trying to balance 3 podcasts. So yes, so we will obviously be continuing Series 7, but it might be a short while before you hear that. But yes.
I think this is Matt Smith's last series.
Do you think?
Yeah.
You think
I think he wants to go do something different now.
Okay.
He's got his name in light, so he can go off and do The Crown.
Yeah. By which you mean you want to see him go now, and you want to see something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want a new actor now.
I don't want Peter Capaldi, though.
You do! You told me recently you were excited to see Peter Capaldi.
Makes no sense.
Why?
We saw him in a volcano place, and we saw him in Torchwood.
Yes.
We get it. Everyone loves him.
Yes.
But how can his face be in
but
3 places
we saw
at once?
Karen Gillan in that episode as well. She was a soothsayer.
A what?
She was one of the fortune teller people.
Was she?
Yeah. In the Pompeii episode.
And then she got her name in lights and went off to do Jumanji.
Yeah.
And Guardian of the Galaxy. She was Nebula.
I know. What would you like to rate this episode out of 5?
Going to rate it 3.
Anywho.
The highest of the series so far.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is slow, but I think the payoff at the end means that it can be slow.
Okay. I'd love to know an episode that you don't think is slow. What that looks like.
Oh, this is slow.
But can you remember an episode that you didn't think was slow? Because you seem to say that every week.
The one where Christopher Eccleston absorbs yellowness.
His finale?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't slow. Well, it had its peaks and troughs. It had its slow bits, but in a good way. Anyhow. So you're rating it a 3. I will rate it... It's tough. If I say a 3, you're going to say, oh, stop copying me.
Yeah.
And if I say a 4, you're going to say I'm being too generous.
No, not actually, because I thought you were going to say 4 anyway, because of the emotional response you had.
Yeah, I'll go 4.
Squibbly dibbly. You hugged a pillow.
Yes, I did hug a pillow.
And your eyes went glossy.
Yeah, I did. I teared up a bit. I always tear up at the bit when she's saying in the letter, in the afterword at the end, about there's a little girl waiting in a garden. Go to her and tell her stories. And it's like, if you remember the first episode with Amy in it, where she stayed up waiting for the doctor to come back and she fell asleep.
Yeah.
And there's this little shot where she just suddenly looks around like she hears the TARDIS. And now you know that was the doctor coming back after this to tell her those stories as she's asleep. And something about children, like when you see a child version of a character that you know as an adult, always makes me emotional because you know they've got all this ahead of them. Anyway, that was that episode. I would like to read out a YouTube comment that we got the other day. So some of you might not know that the podcast goes out on YouTube because most of you probably listen on Spotify or Apple or something, but it also does go out on my YouTube channel. And this comment, funnily enough, comes from someone called River. And I thought it was important to read this out because it was a lovely comment, but it also does challenge us a little bit. And I thought it was important to acknowledge that. So River says, I've loved this podcast and your guys' dynamic for over a year now. You guys are so bitchy yet kind-hearted, and I always look forward to a new episode. But I know that as an AFAB viewer, I feel really uncomfortable watching the Moffat era at times. I love Stephen Moffat. He is an exceptional writer, but in Series 7 especially, the way his characters are sexualised and written for his thing for dominant femme fatale women always makes my skin crawl. I know this episode is we were talking about dinosaurs on a spaceship at the time. I know this episode is a Chibnall episode, but Nefertiti is sexualised so incredibly much. She's introduced making out with the Doctor, her costume is revealing, she's constantly flirting, her body is bargained with, and then she ends the episode giving up her kingdom to be with a misogynist. Sometimes I feel like you guys are a bit negligent of how problematic these parts of Doctor Who are. I'd also like to add that I haven't listened to every episode, so there's every possibility you have addressed it, and everything I say means nothing. But I know you interact with your fan base pretty frequently. We've actually messaged on Insta before, and I felt I should say something. Love you guys. So, first of all, thank you for that message, because I completely agree. This is what I responded back on YouTube with. I said, hey, I completely agree, and thank you for expressing it so well. If you're a listener, then you know that the vibe of our podcast can swing wildly between serious and ridiculous, often with an emphasis on the ridiculous. We do often discuss problematic issues with episodes and writers, including sexism, racism and transphobia, but due to the nature of our podcast, generally dictated by Ben's unpredictable brain, we don't always address everything as fully as we maybe should. But if our conversations can serve as a starting point for a wider discussion, then that's at least something. What do you think about that?
I agree with them.
Yeah.
And I just made a joke, basically, that he's going to take some boring, timid librarian and make her into a frisky sex god.
But the thing is, I guess what the point that this person's making is that maybe we don't treat it seriously enough, but I would say that, we view these things seriously, don't we?
Yeah.
But we can't comment on everything. The vibe of our podcast is generally comedy-based, I would say, rather than... I mean, sometimes we go into more serious debates. But
I think what it is for me, I can't speak for Stephen, but for me, I think what it is you've opened my eyes to it.
Mm-hmm.
As a white male,
because I'm sure we did comment on it. I'm sure because you commented on the Doctor.
Was she in a police outfit?
Oh, Amy, yeah.
Yeah, I was not needed, and
yeah.
But also, you've got to think on the other side. Some women want to be dressed like that.
Exactly, I was going to say that.
Some women, and that's not bad.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's who I am.
It's about choice. At the end of the day.
But do you find it hard because a man wrote it?
Yes, I think that is, and it's not just one thing. It's not like saying, "Oh, he did this one time." It's like a pattern that gets noticed.
And it is bizarre where he's got no scope of characters. Where he just uses the same base.
Yeah.
He sexualizes his characters because in the grand scheme of things, he knows that sex sells.
Yeah.
But then also I think he needs to understand that this is a TV show for family viewers.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he doesn't always have to do this ultra sexy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Doesn't always have to do these femme fatales and these boobs out, legs out, tits out.
Boobs and tits, both out.
Yeah, and the thing is though, it's crazy, isn't it? When I worked in retail and I worked in a department store, the manager at the time, she was used to say to the girls, tits and teeth. So big smiles and cleavage.
They used to say that in showbiz. In fact, they
tits
still do, probably, yeah.
And it's really tough. And and as you can say, I don't feel like an expert.
No, exactly.
I like penis.
That's getting clipped up and going on TikTok.
No. I am a gay man.
Yeah. What I will just say is thank you for the comment because I appreciate the feedback. But I will say that, often we do discuss these things, maybe not always, but that's because our conversations just go where they go. This is not a very you may have not noticed, this is not a very structured podcast. This is a chaotic and twirly podcast. And if you want that kind of in-depth, super serious analysis, then there are plenty of other podcasts that do that.
Yeah.
But if you come to us for, you don't know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates.
Okay, I'm going to put it really, really, really in a nutshell for me.
Yeah.
I do this podcast. I've got a full-time job.
Yeah.
And my job is quite full on. And my job can be quite serious at times.
Oh, yeah.
And I do this podcast with Stephen. The number one reason why I do this podcast is Stephen. This is Stephen's baby. Stephen loves it. And it is something that he is passionate about. And that's the main and ultimate reason why I do it.
Yeah.
And the second reason I do it is to have fun.
Yeah.
Those are the two things. If it was constantly having serious conversations,
Yeah, it would be.
I think I would burn myself out. I appreciate your conversation starter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that, yes, you are totally correct that these things are totally
Very
need to be talked about.
Yeah.
And I know that if you message Stephen on a conversation on Discord or Snapchat or whatever he has, Instagram, I don't know, or Instagram or wherever, I know that he will engage in a conversation with you.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy to.
And yeah, and he's quite happy to have a debate and talk and a discussion about these things. But on the podcast, my main priority is to have fun.
Yeah.
So that you guys feel having the fun.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a laugh, isn't it? But having said that, it is a laugh. But you know, as I said, we do often. I think we've made it clear on the podcast that we stand up for minorities.
Yeah, we definitely talk about the things that we know about, like
LGBT
rights and like trans rights. Obviously fits into that.
Yeah.
But please don't misunderstood, because we didn't talk about this topic doesn't mean we don't talk about other very serious topics, if that makes any sense.
It does make sense. And we do. We've touched on the misogyny. But this is the point at the end of the day, that I like that we're in a fandom and a platform where we can have conversations and people can comment and say, you know, I wish that this issue had been addressed more, because it's a further conversation, like a springboard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, the podcast is always going to be chaotic and twirly, and we won't always cover everything that you might think needs to be covered. But that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, once again, thank you for the comment, and do please, people, keep commenting and writing in, because it's always good to know your thoughts. It's time for Patreon. Patreon, shout-outs, Patreon, shout-outs. Any voice that we could do? River?
Any chance?
Yes! You know I love doing my River. Yeah, we love all our patrons. We're very, very grateful for your support, and we hope you enjoy getting early access to the episodes. We have a plan for some Patreon exclusive content. Can we tease that?
We're going to play a game.
Yes, remember the adventure games from 2010? We are going to do I don't think it's going to be a live stream, because I think it'd be tricky to get people together for it and stuff, but we're going to do a video.
We could do it on Twitch.
We could, but I think it'd be better to do it as a video that I can edit. Basically, of getting Ben to try that game. And
I'm not very good at gaming now.
But you don't need to be good at gaming to do this game. It's very simplistic. Anywho, so our wonderful patrons at the moment are Philip. Are you doing River as well?
Doing your River.
Okay. Northerly. Jason. Tom. Louis. Michael. Ferner. Heather. Benny. Caleb. Monica. Amber. Jess. Kaylee. Jay. Owen. Natalie. Midge. Sarah. Jake. Janie.
Just Janie.
Tony.
They're great.
Leah.
Lewis.
Lucy. Alex. Meg. Jonathan. Fizzy. Cara. Matthew. Creighton. Carlin. Jake. Evan. Harvey. Alice. And Myra. Well, listeners, we hope you have enjoyed that, and our chaotic and twirliness. We will be back next time for The Snowmen.
Walking in the air.
Looking forward to that one. We've got guest star of Ian McKellen.
Oh, my word.
And Richard E. Grant.
How do they afford that?
Ian McKellen's only voice acting, so...
Oh, half his hourly rate.
Yeah. And some returning characters for you to look forward to as well.
Oh, I hate Richard E. Grant.
Do you?
I just think he's the same in everything.
Did you know he's played the Doctor? I think it was in the 2000s. He was the 9th Doctor before Christopher Eccleston. He did a web animation. He voiced the Doctor, and the Doctor was based on him.
So then why is he not chronically?
Because
Doctor?
Russell decided to make Christopher Eccleston the 9th Doctor and decided to basically say that web thing was not canon.
Anywho, that's enough of Doctor Who for a day.
We look forward to seeing you next time. But until then,
Stay cool, stay safe,
stay fantastic.